Hello all. Today I want to talk about a interesting topic today, which is the Final Fantasy community. Is it toxic? And the reason why I want to talk about this because it's something that I found very fascinating and similarities of other communities I am part of or used to be part in. Used to be part of a MOBA community, aka Smite, or a fighting game community slash platform fighter, aka Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, where I follow people or also put myself in discussion in a bunch of people also in that type of community in my own circle, of course. And I have realized a bunch of things while playing all of these games. And do I think Final Fantasy 14 is in those type of same level of toxicities of those game, or are those game are ideally better? So what is my experience overall in Final Fantasy 14 and toxicity? I have to say, me personally, I have only seen a very few toxicity towards me. I think in general, I would say like 5 times at most in the 2 years I have played. And if it's that little, it doesn't really matter, my opinion. I would say it's at that, like, if I'm rating a 1 to 3, just like off of that, I would say it's a 2. But that's in game. What about outside the game, which I think is a very important thing to take in factor, especially if you're saying that you're part of a community, because you're going to probably use things as Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Discord for groups and things like that. I would say honestly it bumped up to, I would say, a 6. And the reason for that is because the community is very passive aggressive on everything. If you disagree with it, they're going to say something. If you don't do something their way, you're going to say something, like, not directly but very passively but aggressively at the same time. And that's just how this community is. I would say it's better compared to the other communities I have been in, because at least I haven't been told so many words that I cannot repeat on here, or also been given death threats personally because of it, or someone said they're going to come to my house and do horrible things. Yeah, that didn't happen to me in Final Fantasy 14 at all. The other communities, Smite definitely. Ultimate, no, not really, but there's other things that I personally believe is bad. Smite, which is not Smite, Ultimate, is basically just people keep on complaining, and then if you disagree on something, people will make fun of you or say you're dumb, you're an idiot, and say horrible things too at you. Kind of a little similar to FF14, just not passive aggressively, they're just straight up aggressive about it. And I think that is a very interesting thing. And all of this made me thought about, like, is the game toxic, or is the things used around the community toxic, like social media? And I have thought about it and sit on it, and I came to the conclusion, yeah, it's social media. And I did a test. I deleted Twitter for 2 to 3 weeks, and dude, that felt amazing. I still use it on my computer, but like on my phone, it's gone, and it does take out a lot of negativity that you see around the game. And it's a very common thing over and over, because people will just find a topic and complain about it over and over again. It doesn't matter which type of time frame there is. Let's say you are playing in Heavenward, you probably had a topic like that, or a topic that someone bring up, that, oh wow, this game is dead, or this horrible thing is happening, or blah blah blah, like something similar like with the world first or the billboard incident. Sorry, incident. It's a very common thing just in general in the community, because one thing I have realized in all communities I have been into, especially the Final Fantasy 14, when there is negativity, people will bring negativity too. So people will say the game is shit, or they will say this person is shit, and just keep on talking and talking, things like that. And it gets very, very, very annoying sometimes. And then the people are just going to see it a downhill overall. But that's just the topic of the month. And of course, this is not all scenarios. There's some horrible topics I'm not even mentioning. I'm mainly talking about like the very like minuscule ones, like the billboard incident, or I would say even the world first cheating incident. Things that like you make memes out of and you move on like in a month or 2 weeks at least, and you just, okay, yeah, this game is actually great, time to play and do my weeklies again, whoop whoop, yay, time to do raids, and then you just move on, and then a more horrible topic just comes in, and then you rinse and repeat it. It's just a cycle that we all have lived in communities in overall, and that's ideally the way the internet is right now. Do I personally like how the way the internet is? No, I'm pretty sure no one does. I think a lot of people on the internet are dumbasses and idiots and really don't have social skills, and I think they should touch grass and go outside once in a while in their life. And let's let's not talk about the one people that also adds into the fire, which is content creators. I am also the type of person that did those things. I made videos on the housing drama. I also made videos on things that like PvP is still, or cheating in the world first. Like, I am also part of the problem, and I know I'm part of the problem. Will that stop? No, for the very simple reason it is a fun topic for me to talk about, and also it brings in good views. I'm not gonna lie, it does bring in good views, and I kind of like seeing numbers go up, and sometimes I like seeing it go down because it just tell what I need to improve in. So yeah, but overall, like, it's just a very interesting topic for me to talk, and I feel like that's the same for content creators, but it's also not really a good thing because we're putting more fuel to the fire and say, wow, why does this thing keep on happening almost every month? Wow, woo! Like, it's that one meme where like the guy just like shooting himself in the chair, like, huh? We're doing it to ourselves, really, I would say most of the time. But yeah, I think it's just a very interesting thing. So how will I tackle a thing like that, or how do I deal with toxicity? I'm going to be honest, and this doesn't apply to everything. I think it's a lot more harder if you're doing things like in group content like Discord. But if you're doing like a lot of things solo and you just want to ideally dial down on the toxicity you're dealing with, I would say honestly just get off Twitter, Reddit, the forums, and if someone is bothering you in the game, block them. And I think that's honestly the best option in general, because once you put effort on a dumb topic, you are a dumb person too. That's also, of course, including me, because you're wasting your time. Let's be honest, we're all wasting our time when we talk about something negativity that's not going to be really a big factor in 2 months. But now let's talk about if you're in like a group, like a raid group or something like that, and it's very, very toxic. I would say the best option, if you can, just leave right away. Know the red flag of a bad group compared to a good group, so you don't really be in those type of scenarios. Do very basic research on just those type of red flags. Those will be very, very helpful. But other than that, just be careful of a person if you want less toxicity just in general in the Final Fantasy community, or you're tired of dealing with the toxicity. It's online, it's not the community itself. It's a very few apples in the game itself that are bad, and if those people are happening in the game, you just block them and then you just move on with the rest of your life, and that's all. Well said it. I have forgotten about one more group of people that I personally believe that deal with heavily harassment in just any type of community too, especially the Final Fantasy community. And those are streamers, YouTubers, or any type of content creators. My best advice is either two option, try to understand that person and reason with them. That's usually work around 40 to 30% of a chance, but most of the time they're just trying to do a got you moment or get a clip out of you and then post it for like a bad reason. So I don't advise that one as much, just sometimes. But I think the best option most of the time is just ban them. It's not really making a vacuum. I think it, again, you're trying to reason with someone online, and most of the time they're just trying to get a reaction out of you to annoy you, and that's all pretty much. I have done with a few comments already on my video that try to do a gachi moment. I respond to one, learn my lesson, not really worth it in my opinion. So again, just either ignore it and ban it as best of ability you can. And if it's becoming too much of stress, the best option is just end stream instead of trying to deal with it overall in the whole stream. Because if you're unhappy, it's very easily told on stream or even on video. That would be my advice to other content creators for the best advice I could do. So yeah, so I hope all you have a wonderful day. If you think this was something that was interesting, tell me your suggestions how to deal with toxicity, or what's your experience with toxicity, and just talk about it in general. And yeah, that will be all. Just subscribe and see y'all.